Hi guys, today's lesson is on simultaneous equations. Our learning intention for today is by the end of this lesson, you will be able to solve simultaneous equations when the coefficients are not the same. Let's look at an example question. Solve 3x plus 3y equals 18 and 5x plus y equals minus 2. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here is label our equations as usual. So we're labeling our equations, equation 1 and equation 2. Step 1. When neither coefficients are the same, we multiply one or both of the equations to make them the same. So here we do not have the same number in front of either letter. We need to multiply one or both of your equations so that we have the same number in front of either the letter x or the letter y. In this case, we're going to multiply equation 2 by 3. This gives us 15x plus 3y equals minus 6. We're going to call this equation 3. We then use our original equation 1 and our new equation 3 to solve for x and y. This goes back to our original steps of eliminate the letter with the same coefficient. In this case, by subtracting. All right, so we're going to write down the two equations that we have. That's 15x plus 3y equals minus 6. And our original equation 1, 3x plus 3y equals 18. We now want to eliminate the letter that has the same coefficient. So we can see here that the signs are the same, so it's same sign subtract. So we're going to multiply our second equation by minus 1. This gives us minus 3x minus 3y minus 18. And from here, we solve for what we have left. So we solve for our remainder. 15x minus 3x leaves me with 12x. Plus 3y and minus 3y cancel. Minus 6 minus 18 leaves me with minus 24. We now want to solve for x. So we divide both sides by the number that's in front of x. We divide both sides by 12. This leaves us with x is equal to minus 2. That's minus 24 divided by 12 leaves us with minus 2. So our value for x is minus 2. Step 3. We now need to find y. We substitute x is equal to minus 2 back into our original equation. So we always pick our first equation here. We always pick equation 1. So wherever I see x in equation 1, I substitute in minus 2. This gives me 3 times minus 2 plus 3y equals 18. And from here, we're going to solve for y. So let's multiply out our brackets. So 3 times minus 2 gives me minus 6 plus 3y equals 18. To solve for y, I want y on one side of the equation and everything else on the other. So to move values across the equal sign, we do the opposite. Let's move our -6. To do this, we add 6 to both sides. This leaves me with 3y is equal to 18 plus 6, 24. We now need to find y on its own, so we divide both sides by the value in front of the y. So we divide both sides by 3. This gives us y is equal to 24 divided by 3, which gives us 8. And step 4, we now need to check our answers using our equation 2. So using the second equation, we'll check to see if we're right. So we find that x is equal to -2 and y is equal to 8. So to check to see if our solution is correct, we will substitute these values into equation 2. This gives us 5 times -2 plus 8 equals -2. Let's solve this out. 5 times -2 gives me -10 plus 8 equals -2. -10 plus 8 gives us -2. So the left-hand side here is equal to the right-hand side, and therefore my solution is correct. Okay guys, please pause this video and take down this example. Let's try another question. Here we're solving for x and y where the coefficients are not the same. Solve for 3x plus 4y equals 7 and 5x minus 2y equals 16. The first thing we do is label our equations 1 and 2. Then, when neither coefficient are the same, we must multiply one or both our equations to make them the same. We want the numbers in front of the y in this case to be the same. How can we make the numbers in front of the y the same? Well, we're going to multiply our second equation by 2. So we times our whole second equation by 2. 5x times 2 gives us 10x. Minus 2y times 2 gives me minus 4y. 16 times 2 gives us 32. Let's call our new equation equation 3. We now use our original equation 1 and our new equation 3 to solve for x and y. Writing our equation 1 and our equation 3 underneath each other, we now solve for x and y by eliminating the letter with the same coefficient. In this case, we have different signs, so we add. So by adding in this question, we have different signs here. So you can see you have different signs. So we're going to add in this question. All right, let's work this out. 3x plus 10x gives us 13x. Plus 4y minus 4y cancel. 7 plus 32 gives us 39. We now want to solve for x. To do this, we divide by the number in front of the x. So we divide both sides by 13. And 39 divided by 13 leaves us with 3. X is equal to 3. We find our value of x. We now need to find our value for y. Step 3. To find y, we substitute x equals 3 back into our original equation 1. So remember, we always pick equation 1 to find your second value. So to find y. Taking equation 1, wherever we see x, we will put in 3. This gives me 3 times 3 plus 4y equals 7. And from here, we're going to solve for y. So let's multiply out our brackets. 3 times 3 gives us 9. Plus 4y equals 7. And now I want to solve for y. That means I want y on the left and the numbers on the right. To move the numbers across the equal sign, you will do the opposite. So if it's plus 9 on the left-hand side, we take away 9 on the right-hand side. This leaves me with 4y is equal to 7 minus 9. So 4y is equal to minus 2. We now want to find y on its own. So we divide both sides by the number in front of y. We divide by 4. Minus 2 divided by 4 leaves me with minus a half, or minus 0.5. Y is equal to minus 0.5. Step 4. Check your answers using your original equation 2. So now we check our answers by substituting our values for x and y into our original equation 2. This gives us 5 times 3 minus 2 times minus 0.5 equals 16. This leaves us with 15. Minus times minus gives me plus. 2 times 0.5 gives me 1. We're left with 15 minus minus 1 equals 16. This gives us 15 plus 1 equals 16. Our left-hand side is equal to our right-hand side, and therefore my solution is correct. Please pause and take down this example.